Hello everyone, welcome to the session. I hope all are doing well. So now we are going to the do some examples on for loop. So this is like a small revision for loop. So we will start with this example that okay, supermarket billing. So yeah, so here he given the prices. Okay, so 120, 250, 80, 110, 150. These are the prices for which we buy items. We buy some items, so these are the prices which was yeah, so total equals to 0 because you have to do total, right? So for p in prices, so for every like when he was scanning the QR code on the item, so he will get the price of the item, so it will automatically go set here into the list. So there is a formation of a list, so which like the prices which are entered in the format, so we have to total it and we have to show in the bill. So this is the process of showing that for p in prices total is p, like that. So when you run it, it will say that your total was 600, like that. For like billing, it's for billing, so total, yeah. If you want, we can use in another type that to suppose when you're going to the mall, so approx you can buy nearly five items, any five items you can buy. Okay. So when you're going here, enter another for loop that giving the range for I in range means for every I there is a iteration. Four, not five. Okay, just you can buy five items, any item from the shop. So market, anything like here. If we use for here, so here we have to use indentation here also. So see, for I in range, so I think it will show the error because this loop will be runs in five times. If I run, it will be use the error. We know that 3000 it was showing that because previously we got how much, 600. But if you run the same loop again and again, it will shows the 3000 because the total was again and again it was adding 600, 600, 600, like that, 3000. So don't think about that. So in this for loop we have to give some instructions that for like, see here, don't remove this list. Okay, you have to give like p means pizza. P means pizza, so each pizza is 200. So, and another thing, B, burger, which was having nearly 180 rupees. Each burger 180 rupees. And another thing was chicken something. C. So 320 rupees, like this. So here you have to give some instructions for this, that inside the for loop. If you buy p, okay, if you buy p, so how many pieces, like that. So if you have to give another input that you, first of all you have to know that for which item you are buying, right? So that's why take another variable that item and say input because you are entering the string. So when it will ask the enter the item, so that item which you want to buy, so you have to give here. If item equals to means which you entered here, suppose you entered p means pizza, b means burger, c means chicken. In those three if you enter anything, so for pizza, okay, you have to give another variable, like see here, because why? Because you don't know, right? uh, Number of, okay, you have to know how many pages you order in the pages, means like you buy in the pages, but how many pages. For that you have to give an integer that says how many integers sorry, how many pages you want to buy. Enter the number. So after this we can proceed that if how many number like how many pages we want, so we have to into it number. So here print total, okay, so we can go with like that. So print what is the total here from this, okay, from what we call it, yeah. So see here, when we done, what we done was, if we enter like element p, okay, if when we entered p or b or c, okay, so if item equals to p, then it will choose this part. Otherwise, if we want to buy a burger, so use elif item which is equals to b, okay. So we have to use this inverted commas. Otherwise, like it will things like 200, okay, in the place of p it assumes 200, and it will if you enter 200, then this will be works. Otherwise it will show some random numbers like that. So when we are going here, here also we have to enter how number of burgers, right? So here do the same thing, number of burgers. So enter the number, and again that use this total symbol, that same here b into how many burgers you done. Do like here n1, because you have already used this n here, so same n1. So after this else, which was not else, because if you use else, then we enter any type of string, then it will go to the else, so don't use else. Again use the same elif, and item is equals to, which was last one, chicken, so c. So number two, so you have to give another thing, that enter in another input. So enter in kg. I mean i mean we can buy chicken in kgs, right, not like pieces. So enter the number, okay, same thing, enter the number, and after this we will go with the total. So here number was, like kgs in kgs, so c into number 2. So after this we can go with the else, which was print invalid, okay, print somewhat invalid. So you can try another thing, that see here, you use elif here, okay. Print in elif, you have to give one condition, that item, okay, item which was you have to give as an input is equals to exit. If you want to exit, if you enter exit, then it will be exit. How? You have to use break function, okay. So here don't print, so just write that, sorry, break. So it will breaks that, and means it will stop that. Else if you enter any other thing, like other than this exit, print invalid, okay. So now we go with this, and after running that I will say how it will be works. So same, if I'll we means we here taken this if L into the for loop. So here for I in range, so here we can give the maximum inputs 5, like we can give 5 number of inputs, so with that it will count the total. If previous in previous iteration we can go up to here, so it here the total becomes this thing. So after that, if we enter B, so it will go here, the total becomes same because this is only for loop, not nested for loop. So after the iteration, before iteration, the value of total will become the new like here, and it becomes here like after adding this in next iteration the total value like that. So wait, I will, when I will run it, I have to give some, yeah, inputs, right? So first of all I want to buy pizzas, so after that I will do two. Okay, so I want to buy two pizzas, and after that burgers, I want to buy burgers like nearly 5 burgers. So after that, I want to buy chicken. So I want to buy 2 kgs of chicken. And again, I want to buy this. Yeah, we can add another thing, water bottle, which was 20 rupees. So we add the same thing here. Elif, right? So elif item, which is equals to water, means W. So you can uh, enter number of, what is that, bottles you want. So here change the number to 3, and after that total is, which was water, the amount of water into the number of bottles you ordered. So and now number 3. Okay, so now run it again and give the things from starting. So you want to buy pizzas first, so you want to buy pizzas, so 3 pizzas, and you want to buy these burgers, 5 burgers. You want to buy chicken, so after that you want to buy 2 kgs of chicken, and then lastly water bottle, 2 water bottles is enough, and you want to exit now. So you, because you already buy everything, so you want to exit, just print that exit. So the loop stops there. Okay, the loop stops there because see here what I printed. If you the you give the input as exit, so what will be happen, it breaks the loop there. Okay, it breaks the loop at there, and it will go to the further, what is your print total, so it goes to the print total. So what is the print total? If we do the coding for that, see, like pizzas, 3 pizzas means what is the each pizza price, 200, so here 600. So what is the burger, 1800. So like 1800, sorry, 180 into 5 was 900, so 900 plus this 600, 1500 here. So after that, what is the value of these chicken, 320, so 2 kgs of chicken, 640. So here see the values, which was like for pizzas total amount was 600, and these money, like what is that, yeah, burgers, the money was 900, and for that, which was chicken the amount was 640 because 320 into 2, right? And after that, water bottle, 2 water bottles, 40 rupees. So total, see here, yeah, 600, 900, 1500, 1500, 600, 2100, and 40, 40, 80. So total 2180, like that. So this is how it works. So here it have to print that, enter the item. So in, but in like market, so they entered like scanning that item, so it will get automatically which item was that, and you have to give how many items, like the same item, how many you buy, like you buy three items, and or 5 items, like that. So you want the same type, but 3 items like same type. So you have to enter 3, 5, 2. if you buy only one at the unique type, like yeah, if you buy the water bottle, one water bottle, then you have to write here one, like that. So this is how billing. So billing done, and there is a particular for every which item were available at the shop. So every item having a particular value. So with that value they are using like this type of codes and entering the item which was we want to buy, and they are giving that how many are you buying the same type of item. So after that, like that, if you enter like 5 6 is your range, like if you want to buy only two items, then sorry, two items, then what is that when you run it again. So here it will ask the item. So you want to give like first pizzas, you want to buy six pizzas, and after that you want to buy burgers, not burger, chicken, 2 kgs of like 3 kgs of chicken. So the total was 2160. And if you want to buy only pizzas, okay, if you want to buy only pizzas, so when you run it only pizzas, you can do like six pizzas, and after that right, like type exit. So after that it will break the loop at there, which by when you print the exit, so the loop will stop there and break there, and it will come out. So 200 into 6, 1200. Your total price was 1200. If you want, then you can write like this: total price was 1200, like that. Okay. Yeah, like this. So if you run this thing, so it will for pizza 7 and water bottles 3. So total amount was 1460, like that. So total price was 1460 billing, like pay the bill. So in that manner we can go with these things. So and student marks, we already know that student marks also we done the if your statements inside with the student marks. Here they are giving the input in the form like list, but we will, sorry. Yeah, see here they are giving the in the form of list of the student marks, and he was doing that m in marks. If m was greater than, like when the marks will be greater than 75, then count one. So every time the marks was 75 greater than, not no no, three times it was greater than 75, so it will count, gives the count three. So yeah, so you can do another thing that whether you know the meaning of sorted, I think it will occur in list, so not now. So for now we are go with like this. So yeah, else this is a for loop, right? Yeah, so there is nothing to add it. We already done these type of sums, I think nearly two or three. So just we are assume like we are counting that whether how many, like these are the four subjects. So how many subjects he was crossed 75. So we're just counting it. That's all. In three subjects he got above 75, and only one subject which we got 65. So see. Here we have to print that, else print uh yeah, print like no, marks was less than 75. Okay, so just use this comma and write m. Okay, so just add the inverted commas just for thing that using both if else inside the for loop. Less that, not that, then 7. Yeah, so like that. So this is not required, but just I'm saying that. So with these examples, like we can find whether a student having in how many subjects whether greater than 75 and which are having less than 75. And so we can we can find the index of the 65. If we try, we can do that. Like here marks was less than 75. So instead of you are printing the 65, you can write the place of index. So how can we write the place of index? So if we know the value of m and we are having the marks there, so we can find the index. So see here, we can go with like this. If you want to find the position of the number which we getting the less than 75, you can do like this. So here if whether the m was greater than or equal to 75, the count becomes 1, right? So see here, here the count becomes 1, 2. When coming to the here, it like see, we know that already count was starting from 0. So if the count was starting from 1, okay, like 1, here we have to give plus 1. Like why I am saying that in that manner was index we are finding the index in the form 0, 1, 2 like that. So after this count which number was we get false. So we already know the count was starts from 0 and the count goes up to now 2. So we know the we can like count the index which like after this thing we fail. So count already starts from 0, but here when the getting right, so it becomes 1 2, but it starts from 1, but initially it starts from 0. So we can use count as a index that where we lose our like less than 75, we failed our condition, but we have to give here count which in both areas you have to give count equals to plus 1. So you can have a doubt that why I entered the count plus 1. So because when we done in else part also count plus 1, so after the coming integer like here, see, it automatically gets the count plus 1. For example, see here, for m in marks, okay, so yeah, when 75 was coming, 75 greater than 0 and count plus 1, and 95 is here, count plus 1, and 65 coming. So it choose the else part. So when this else part was saying the position of this value was 2, because in previous iteration the value of count was 2 and 2. But after that when we are going here, right? So if you give here also count plus equals to 1, then what will be happen? It will be when coming to the here. So the 88, but before the 88 coming, see here we used count here, right? So if here like we want to print which whether which numbers are getting less than 75 and the position. So that is the reason I takes like this. But as per rules this is not allowed, because when we print the count, right, it will show the extra one variable, like extra two variables, I think two or one variable, because we entered we because if whether the count was less than 75 or greater than 75, it will show the uh, everything was counted. So here we are using this count for not counting whether the given answers were greater than or equal to 75. So there is another thing that, see, if you enter 67 comma 94 comma 54, so now if you run it, you will get at the position 2 4 6 you are getting uh, what is that, below 75. So how I get these three lines? So see here, when m coming to the second, like 0 1 2, right, 3 4, yeah, that 5 6. So when you are using this count plus 1 in both the areas, so just, yeah, you have to give one thing, right, inside the if, you can't leave it empty. So here see whether the m equals 75, or the whether the m is not greater than or less than 75, there is no problem with it. Count will be adds 1 1 1. But here we are going with for index, right? So that's why I changed the whole question. So where we are getting this less than 75, at that places it will be count, like it will show the count, because we initially started with 0. So that is the reason why I just directly printing the count, because for the first position the value of count was 1, for second 2, but for third it's failure. So that is the reason why the count becomes still 2, and after that count will be adds 1. So after that, when we coming to the 88, right, so at the position of 88 the count, where the value of like count was 3, because here 2, and when because of this we going to the 3 at the position of 88. So after this 88 loop runs, again we get 4, for which the 67, 4 for the 67. So that is the reason here marks was less than 75 at the position of 4. So this is how we will get without like we can print the indexes in the with the using this. So instead of this you can use like I. So it is more suitable for that I, and here also print that I. For doing that printing where the position of the marks, where we are getting less than 75. So this is the way of doing that. Sorry, somewhere we did, okay, here. So we have to see everything carefully. Okay, when I printed, so we get the same answer. So at the position of 246 we are you are having the less than 75, like that. So this is way of finding that. And after that, bank deposit, and we already discussed in, yeah, in match cases about this bank deposit, withdraw, and like balance, checking the balance, like that. So in match cases we done. So if you want to do same thing in for loop, so what you have to do, starting the balance was 0, at the starting the balance was 0, but actually you have to deposit. So here the deposits are there, which was 500, 1200, 300, 700. So if for example, yeah, here see for being deposit means every element will be adds to the balance. So when you print it, it will show the your balance was 2700. So you can change that. But if you change the question like, so do one example that like for month July, okay, for month July. So yeah, for month July, you have to see whether in month July you deposited in 5 times, like for every 5 days. What we can assume. So every like 6 days, I think so. You done five deposits. So deposited withdraw. You go to the bank in July month. So here we will take a variable that D, which was indicates deposit. If you go for deposit, then you will take 50,000 for deposit. Okay. Otherwise, there is W, which was withdraw. Withdraw means which was like, yeah, uh, taking the money from that. So like give everything was 10,000. The values for everything was 10,000. And if you want like at a time you can take 10,000 from the ATM or something what you call. So here like that. After that, mm, not 10,000, keep it as a 15,000. Here also 15,000. So after that withdraw, and after that the same thing. Yes, just enough with these three things. So after that, for D in deposit, remove it, and for I we know that five times, right? For I in range, so you have to give range up to five, and it will checks like five times. It will be runs five times the loop. So after that, if you have to take an input that like which you can method, okay, method, which method you want, like you want to come from deposit method or withdraw method, what you want method we want. So just write input and give that enter method. So after that give some gap, and after that if the method which was entered by you, so it will be equal to balance, okay, b, or you can say yeah, b is enough balance, then print your balance. Sorry, okay, you have to use inverted commas, your balance, and give someone comma and print the b which was sorry, balance. Here you can print which are print here. So this is a string, this is not equal to this, sorry, this is not having connection, any connection to this. So you, elif, if you method is equals to which you give, for example d, so means deposit, so take an another input, like another variable that t equals to 0, because it have to be show the final balance, right? So finally the t becomes, okay, the t will, sorry, t will add that because you are going to the deposit, right? So how much deposit do you want? So if you want to deposit like money, you have to take as an input that is more effectable than like the here. So you want to came for deposit here, okay, d, okay, int of input of enter amount, okay. So yeah, so here give gap, after that t equals to plus or equals to d, okay, t will add to the, sorry, d will add to the t, and after this if method is equals to withdraw, okay. So in that case what will be happen was this w is equals to same, you have to enter some money and you can get the money after that. So enter the money, sorry, amount, right? So after that here t will be minus it, right? So because we are withdrawing it, so it will be minus from sorry, w from total. So remove this, and finally you have to write the total, right? So t uh, your balance, write your balance here. So you can get like, yeah, when you run it, okay, when you run it, it will ask the nearly five things. So okay, there is another thing else, right? So if you enter anything other than these three things, uh, Yeah, other than these three things, if you enter anything, any method other than these three things, so you will break. Okay, so you can run it. So if you want like enter method, so you want to check your whether balance, whether you're having how much balance. You are having 90,000 balance. So you want to deposit some amount for that. So when you enter D, it will says, yeah, you came for deposit. So enter some amount for your deposit. So I entered 70,000. Again, it will says, like if now I came for deposit and I deposited the money. So I want to exit. So print something A. So now you can, yeah, exit from the loop, exit from this loop, so it will show that your balance is 70,000. So yeah, we done a mistake that here we adding this d to the total. We did not add this, we have to add this to the balance, not taking another t and we added this t, but we have to add to the balance and we have to add minus to the balance. This is the new thing we got, and here also balance. So we changed everything, right? So when we run it again, it will ask from starting. So I want to see the balance. So my balance was 90,000. I want to deposit. So I enter the money which was I want to deposit 70,000. So I want to exit from the, I mean, I came from this work and completed. So sorry, I would write W 0. I did not want to withdraw any money. Set. Sorry. And yeah, sorry for that. B, D, 70,000. Yeah. And we got, see here when I entered this not I did not enter this BDW. I entered A, so it goes to the else part. What is the else part was break means stop this loop. So here your new balance, like your balance now was you added, right? So 1,60,000 because my before balance was 90,000 and my new balance like I deposited 70,000. Both when I'm adding this way will be 1,60,000. So if I go for withdraw now, so I go from for withdraw. So what I did, first of all, I check balance. If I exceed, like if I entered more money other than like how much I am having balance, so it will says that like you didn't have money. Otherwise, it will goes into minus. So if I enter B here, so 90,000, and after that I enter W. So how much money I want? I want 50,000. So again it will ask the method, another method. So if I want to exit, I will enter A. So I exited successfully from this loop. So your balance was 40,000. So after 90,000, I take some money like 50,000. So it was saying your balance was 40,000. So here, see, I entered 50,000 here, but it was just getting taking the 50,000. Why? Because it's not inside that, it's not outside that, because this is the like I here having the value W equals 50,000, and after I changed the W value into input and I've taken a new input. So the value of the variable W changes. So we previous in first session also learned about this. We can change the values of a variable. If I entered first time A equals to 10, again I entered A equals to 20. So if I print A, it prints the 20, not A, because we changed the value of A. So here we can change the values of variables, right? So here I done the same thing. So I forgot it about the W which I given at the starting 15,000, but when I taken as input, so this is the last value of W, right? So it will consider this value only. If you forgot to enter here the input, so there is like if you enter that, sorry, if you forgot to enter this line, so there is no problem with that. It will consider this 15,000. But if you forgot to enter this line, then it will show the like error what is D, because you are having only W here, not D. And like this, if you for which method you, if you for example enter W directly, so here it says that you entered, you don't know how much balance you having, so you entered 1 lakh. Okay, when you entered again you want to exit because you came for withdraw, it will say minus 10,000. So your money now was minus 10,000, like that. Your bank was go into a somewhat negative. And yeah, after that, so yeah, this is how we are doing deposit withdrawal like that. So Android stock 50,1203 out 0 for S in stock. If S equal to 0, out will be plus 1. Print out. So here the out will be 1. We know that same as before, but there is no condition. But here is a condition that which was if S equals to 0. What is S? S was each what like S in, right? Here they mentioned that S in is S in stocks. So the value of S was 50,12,3. If S equal to 0, then out will be becomes 1. So I think it goes only sorry, the output will be 1 only because we given input like that. Yeah, if you like this 1. From this question, this is that using, we already used questions, but here you can see he was taking the each and every element from the list, and he was seeing that the if the element which was we are taking from the stock, whether it was equal to 0 or not. It not, then it will goes to the again at the for loop. If it is, then it will choose the out becomes 1. So if you print it inside it, you will get nearly how many? 4 values. If you print it inside the for loop, you will get the 4 values. Okay. So when you run it, you will get 0, 1, 1, 1. 0, 1, 1, 1. See here, when S in stock, so first value of S was 5. So 5 is not equal to 0. This condition fails. Out still 0 because we entered the initial value of out was 0. So when it goes ahead again here, the stock S in stock. So what is the value? 0. Yeah, 0 is equal to 0. Condition passed. So here out becomes 1. From here onwards, there is no 0. So the value of out will still 1. So that is the reason 0, 1, 1, 1 we got. So yeah, like that. And for example, you can say that uh, there's a question that if you have to see the values inside a list, and that too if a number or like a element which was having value 0, and it will repeat again, like we get again a 0, then stop at there, means like break there. So what we have to do, for example, comma 5 comma 6 comma 4, like that. Okay, here comma 0 and comma 4 comma 3. So now just do only a little. Yeah, if you see here we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when we print, we will get the 7 lines of output, and we will get 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. So Yeah, 0 1 1 1 2 2 2. So now when the condition like if the 0 will repeat again, then stop the loop. So what you have to do, s and stop if s equal to 0, right? So enter it again, and here if the value of out, sorry, yeah, not here. And after this you have to do that if again, if the value of out, okay, is equal to 2, then break the loop. So when the it breaks the loop, it stops the printing out. So see here, it will give nearly 1 2 3 4 5. See, when I run it, it gives only 4. Why? Yeah, because see here, the printout is outside the if, because see here, when after this completing this thing, out becomes 2, right? When we are completing with this 4, we are going here. So what is here? 0. Again 0 equal to 0. Out equals to becomes 2. So here what we said, out will be become 2 when we will get 0 again. So break means it doesn't care about the what was under below the code, and it will stop there and it will goes out of the loop. So you have to print it above, okay? Otherwise you can print s, and this thing also you have to print before this, not inside, outside. Yeah, if you run it again, 5 0 12 3 again, when again we saw the 0, there the loop will be stops like this. If they say whether if you get again the number which like 12 or 5 or 6 like that, then you have to stop it, like you have to stop that. So in that manner you can do with this code, and it will works like this. So again, when we saw the 0, it stops there, and no, it didn't go further like that. So after this, electricity uses, yeah, this is also everything was same, but it's all our real life examples, so we can change into our need, like we can think, right, in different manner. So we are just doing like that. So units equals to 10 to 12 9 like that. So if you want like total units which you used, so it will show that the total units you used was like 10 12 9. It will add the every element inside the units. 84, you totally used 84. Here we can go with the like whether the lights was taking 18 units, the AC was taking 80 units, like 90 units, and like that we can change and we can do that. But previously we done these type of things, that total we are adding the units to the total, like previously we done in the question, which we are adding amount and we are deleting amount like that. So there is maximum, there is no need of for that. Using the same method is not important, right? So we have to think in like getting a different for loop things. So like for example, if we want to go, and we can go like light, okay, for example light, the average units which was taken by a light was 5 units, okay. Fan will takes 25 units, and AC was takes like 60 units, okay. So here we are going with this, the minimum which we are using this meter, so you have to pay for the meter was something like 4 units. So here we are adding this units to the meter. So lastly we will do what we want, so just leave it, and these are the three, right? So see here, for I in units, remove it. And for I in range, okay, for I in range also no need, but for loop iterations we need, right? So there is 3. Let's take 3, not 3. Let's take 4. So here, first of all, take an input that which like item. Just take an item also no need. Yeah, T. Just take a T, which was input, enter, enter the like light or fan or AC which you are using. So here enter the name that whether light, fan or AC. So here if this T equal to L means light, then you have to enter another input that A. So what is A here? A is the number of lights in your home. So how many lights inside my home? That enter a number. So I am in my home having like somewhat. I will give it input as input. So no need for here. So see a equals to int of input of like that. So now you have to add to the m plus r equals to what is that L, right? So L, and after that if sorry Elif the T which we mentioned, right? Like now F sorry, yeah, T is equal to F. So B equals to into input of, so there is another bracket. So here enter the number of, sorry, enter a number that we number represent the fans how many we are having. So in that same thing will be happen, n plus equals to what is that F units. Okay, sorry, here you have to into the A because light will takes nearly 5. So how many lights you are having like that? Time is also required, but no need. We can't find a particular time for that. Sorry, B. And for else, not else, Elif, right? Because there is AC. Elif, sorry, condition T equal to AC. So you have to take another input that C, which was how many ACs do you have? So enter the number. After that, just M, yeah, M, F not AC into how many, like what you indicated AC at C, right? Number of ACs. So yeah, lastly else. So if you enter anything, you can come out of the loop. Otherwise, you can enter here 3 and just leave the else part. Where is that 3? Yeah, and we can leave this else part. There is, because only we are having this 3, and you have to mention here that here take another input that, like take another variable that total. Okay, here there is another input that total. which was the total value of M, total units we done. So into 14, which was uh, per unit, there is 14 rupees for 14 per unit, 14 rupees. Enter the name. So let's take L. So lights. How many lights we are having? Nearly 7 lights. And enter the name again. What? How many? Yeah, fans we are having? 4. So after the sorry, here I have to enter the name, right? So yeah, I have to enter the name. So that is the reason there is no name available. Again, it will asking the name. So enter a name. L lights. So I am having 7 lights. So 7. I'm having fan. How many fans? 4 fans. And how many like ACs now? I have 2 ACs. So the total current bill you will got was 3626, because if you want to print the total units, then no problem with it. Yeah. So this is the finding of the electricity bill, and yeah, this is our assumption only, and this is the way of finding that. So after this, now we are going to the, yeah, here hospital patients. So write a Python using for loop to solve this scenario. So there are certain patients and having the data of their ages. So 45, 60, 32, 70, 55, the age of patients. So after seniors, okay. Here, whose age was above 60, so they consider as a senior citizen, like yeah, seniors. So for in ages, so is similar to others, like how we did for same thing. We have to see before time in every question in the same format, like we are okay. I did not copy it. Ages equals to 45, 60, 32, like that. So A in ages. So what is the mean was we have to choose every element inside the list ages. So in the list, the first element was 40, 45, 60, 32, 70, 55, like that. So when A in ages, so for 45 condition fails, it again loop runs, and after 60, yeah, 60 is equal to 60. So seniors is plus 1, like that. For 70 also, it will be passed, condition will be passed. So at this scenario, sorry, at this situation, so we get seniors, two seniors are there in the, yeah, senior patients are two, like that. So if we want, we can do another thing, that we are just what we can call it, like for age who are having above 60, they can applicable for a benefit that will decrease 40% of the uh, total payment. Like if for a operation they charge nearly 1 lakh or 2 lakh, so for who are having the above 60, so they will give 30% the discount. So we can find like that. So here let's take, okay, equals to 1. Okay, so we will do another thing, that for every 10 patients, if they will give who are having above 60, okay, for every 10 patients who are having above 60, and that too they will calculate the first two older like C older patients. For example, we can say that 12 comma 90 comma 78 comma 34 45 32 89. So these are the list of patients. So how many? 3 3 7. So if we add one more, so 56. Okay, from these 8, for every 8 patients there are minimum however 3 or 4 elder, like above 60 senior patients are there. So every 8 members, but the first 2 members are get the benefit which was having 30% offer. But other than that, who are after having these 2 patients, they didn't get the offer like benefit. So for that scenario, so like in that scenario what we have to do was like for A in ages, okay? If age greater than equals to seniors are plus one. So here I can do one thing, that if seniors, right? Seniors is 2, okay? Then print uh, benefit closed. So the and after that you have to break it. After printing this benefit closed, it will stop the loop, because after the seniors there is no need of that see here, for example, for each patient they will charge c equals to, sorry, equals to nearly approx, what is that, 2 lakh for operation, 2 lakh. So what is the 30%, like percentage is also random, okay? So percentage, we take percentage a equals to int of input of enter percentage. So here you have to give one percentage input. So that is like benefit. So when yeah, see here, what is that? So here you can give their benefit that which having B. Let's take another variable B. This is a percentage. So how to calculate like discount? So from this amount, if we minus the divide like minus the amount which we given discount, then we will get the amount which we have to pay. So here if we go like this, so how can we find from this percentage? See, 2 lakh. Okay, first of all, 2 lakh, yeah, divisible by, right? So here how much percentage you want to give it, but you have to into this thing, okay? Because is in the form like uh, b by 2 lakh into 100 equals to a. So when this 2 lakh comes here, it will multiply to it, and this by 100 to the everything. We can no need of adding brackets, but just go with it. And this is how we get the discount. So here print the total amount which we have to pay here. B minus, sorry, C minus, sorry, C minus B. Okay. So when we go with it, why with the some name ages. Okay, okay. Just do ages here. Ages. Okay. So here remove and add as. Yes. So when you again run it, enter percentage. So before it will says yeah, because see here the starting a was greater than or equals to 60, but here it was not greater than. So it will again loop running, and after that and coming to the here 90, and it will asking the enter the percentage. So when I enter the percentage, so what will be happen was like I want to give discount up to 20%. Total amount was we have to pay 1,60,000. 20% offer like benefit means discount. 20% discount means how much we will get? We will we will get 40,000. Yeah, right. Because for 10% we have to pay 20. I mean for 10% 20,000. So for 20% 40,000. So that we have to minus the from the 2,40,000. So we will get 1,60,000. So again we have to give the percentage for whom we already given the percentage for 90 age senior, so we have to give again for 78 years senior. So for now I have to give 15%. So now you have to pay 1,70,000 benefit closed senior patients too. So yeah, here you can write senior patients reached, sorry, reached. Okay, reached. Yeah. So you can write like this. That means when you can run it, for this is for first patient. So I want to give for first patient 30% discount. So the total amount for first patient was 1,40,000. And again for second patient I want to give 25%. So here it is that when I want to give 25%, so it like nearly 1,50,000 for second patient. But after when I'm entering the benefits for these first two patients, and the benefit was closed and senior patients reached two. So when like that now see here, if you want to give another percent, like if I want to give for my first patient who are having above 60, so I want to give that day hours 40. So we have to pay only 1,20,000 is enough for getting operation. So here enter another percent for my second patient who are having above 60. So I want to give 30. So 1,40,000. So benefit closed. So after this benefit closed, if you want to again like see the patients who are having above that, so again run it, then again another in 8 members will came, like that it have to be repeat. So for repeating, you if you use another variable, like for example see here, yeah, we can convert into that. For example, we if we take nested for loop, so in outer for loop we form a list with the random numbers in between 1 to 100. So who are having below 50, they are normal peoples, like they didn't have any benefit. But who are having above 50, okay, so they are having the benefits which I enter. So for example, if we take another for loop inside that, and we use random import random to pick the random integers, so let's try that. Okay, so now if we want a random, yeah, random list, so what we have to do, so here take another for loop here for I in range 10. No, 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 1, because we want only one uh, different list. When we are running again and again, we have to get different lists. So here just print the patient age also, if you like. Yeah, print the patient age. No need, I think so. Otherwise, just print the patient age. Here, print that. We want 4. So here, age of patient. Okay, age of patient. So which was so sorry, which was given here as A. The value of A was age of the patient. Okay. So if you run it again, okay, yeah, not at all a problem. If you run it, ages. Okay, okay. Remove it and again run it. If I enter 20, age of patient is 90. Total amount he have to pay was 1 lakh 60,000. So if you want it, you can print it in another line also. So when you enter, you can start print. So do like this. Yeah. So you can get in different lines. Again, for my second patient also, I will give 20%. Here, the age of the second patient is 78, but the total amount he have to pay was 160. So here the benefit was closed, and after this we have to stop the loop and senior patients reached to. We have to show that senior patients are reached to. Here for every time we are getting the same answer, right? So for only we are doing only for this 90 and 78 years old person. So we will pick some another thing that I in range 1 means what is the meaning is there is only one iteration. So for that one iteration you have to take inputs like see here, yeah, see here import random because we are using random here to take a random number. Yeah, import random, and here you have to take a empty list that is R. Okay, you have to remove this and you have to add here R. So now here what you have to do is R dot append. We know that why we use this append function. We use this append function for random dot rand sorry rand int. We use this append for adding the values into the list. So 1 to 100. You pick anything, right? So after that, yeah, that's all. It will for first iteration, it prints a random list. No, no. We want 10, right? We want minimum 10 integer. For every 10 patients, we have to give for first 3 patients. For now onwards, we will take first 3 patients as having above 60 per age, then we will give some benefits for them. So let's take 10. So for 10 iterations, it will give 10 integers and it will add to the R. So here, which you have to use instead of ages, you have to use R. Okay. So yeah, here print R. First of all, it have to be give the age when you run it. It gives the random values of the ages of some persons. Like, see, the first page, the age of the first patient was 48, second 86, 16, 51, 38, 100, 6, 33, like that. So, for my first patient who were like having the above 60 age, so I want to give 35%. So the age of the patient was 86, for whom I want to give the enter percentage. So I want to give 35% for 86 years old patient, and total amount was 1,30,000 he have to give. So I forgot to change here the range 2 to 1, I mean 2 to 3. Where is that for loop? Where is that for loop? No, no, no. If scenario we have seniors, we have to change it 3. No problem then. See here. So enter percentage. But after one, I want to give 31, 33, 32. The second one says was 100. So he have to pay 1 lakh 36,000. Benefit closed because the senior patients was reached to 2. If you want give 3, because we are seeing about 3 members. So now I want to enter 40%. Yeah, for 79 years old person, I am giving 40% benefit, and now he have to pay for his operation was 1,20,000. For second person, I want to give like 36. So he having age 94, and he have to pay 1,28,000 for his operation. So I want to give next person as 36, right? So 33. So my next person was 62 years old. He have to pay 1,34,000 for his operation, and benefit closed because senior patients was reached to 3. So this is how it works. So from this for loop we get a random age patients, and every time, because every time we did not get the same thing when we entered this here ages equals to like that. So we are every time we are getting the same ages for patients. So when we run again and again, we will get the different types of patients. So for them, for each like get a random percent. So we can choose the random percent also, but somewhat it was not good for that. So if we give the random percent, then not at all a problem that. And here you can take that s equals to random dot random of from where to where, from 40 to 30, like 50 to 30, like that. If you want to give, then it will you can give that up to 3 members. Okay, so after this, then there is no need of we are typing, it will gives automatically so random value. If you want, we can do that. See here we are taking input, right? So remove this input, and yeah, say that yes equals to random dot rand int. So off from 40 to 50%. Sorry, this is very high, right? So 30 to 40% for today. So what it will do was, see it gives it one thing that, yeah, we have to run it again. Yeah, now it was correct. That, see, first of all, it takes a random list that we don't know which patients, like how age persons will come. We don't know. So there is a random patients were came to the hospital. So the ages of the patients was 99, 94, 66, like that. So whose age was greater than 60, we are giving the benefits. So see here for age 99, so they given the, oh, they did not like print the percentage, right? So no problem. Age of patient 99, you have to pay 1 lakh 24, and same as 94, he have to pay 1 lakh 24. So but when we goes to 66, he have to pay 1 lakh 34. So reach it 3. So if you run it again, you will get another list, and another 138, 128, 128, like that. So it took a random values like that. So yeah, that's all random integer. If you want to use, we can use in that manner. Yeah, we done with this hospital, right? So after this, restaurant orders. Write a Python program using a loop for loop to solve this scenario. What is that? Order is 250, 450, 180, 320. Total equals to 0 for O in orders. Oh, we done the same thing at the before. Yeah, at the starting, we done the same question that pizza, burger, pasta. But here they did not mention anything, just giving the values and we have to add that. But both are same, so there is no need of doing this example again. So we can skip it. After that, library books. There are some available books are there: Python, Java, C, A. So for this, we have to we can't use random because random is used for integers float, but when we use string we have to give list first and after we can do with the function choice. But other than we if we don't want to, like, we can't create a list using this strings because we cannot get any type of string from random. We can get float or int from the random, but we did not get any string from random. So yeah, here we go with this. So here what, here was books. There are four types of books were available in library. So for B in books, print issue B. So issue, like, yeah, something like issue with the B. What is the B? Python, Java, C, A. If you run it, it will give you the four different lines. Yeah, issue Python, issue Java, issue C, issue A. So now we are doing in the different manner that, see here, for Python, Java, C, A, right? So yeah, for example, if we want to use this if else statements, so what we have to do for taking book from the library, okay, for after it have to pay nearly uh, okay, 10 rupees, 10 rupees for 10 days. If it will be greater than 10 days, then what will be happen, so it becomes 10 to 100. If there is greater than 20 days, 10 become 500, like that. So we have to print like that. So for this, I think we can do that. So yeah, we can choose a random thing, don't use like for B in books. For example, we can choose up to three books only. So 3 means we have to give range up to 3. So it will run 3 times the loop. So remove this. For you have to write here. You have to first give the input, right? Whether given input is less than 10 days, 10 days, like days. So yeah, see here, day, sorry, days equals to int of input of enter number of days. So here we have to give one input whether the input was, like, see if days, okay, was less than, sorry, greater than, right, greater than or equals to 0. No, 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 less than or equals to 10, less than or equals to 10. So at that position we can print 20 rupees. Yeah, have to pay. Okay, which was 20 rupees. After that, Alif, we can write it inside that. There is no problem in it. Alif, days is less than or equals to 20. Print. Otherwise, we can do one thing that we take another variable that here, which was saying that equal to how many days into 10 per day we will charge 10 rupees for extra days. Like, see here, for 10 days, if will be 10 days, right? So you have to charge only 20 rupees. There is no, not a fine. But when it comes to you reach after the 10 days, like reach 10 days and after you did not submitted the book again to the library, so here you have to pay. So here you have to pay uh, what is that, previously we are doing 20 rupees, right? So same thing, you have to add the 20 rupees. 20 plus what is the value of here the value of days which we enter. So days here, right? So how much we enter, like 20 or 10 or something, so it will it into 10. I think there is no value of days, right? So if we run it, what will be happen? Yeah, it shows the error because we did not mention the days right at here, so it was shows there is an error. So print it at inside the S. See here, Control C and do it inside the loop. Otherwise, it will show the it doesn't understand what was the variable days. When you go with it, so here the last one else. If you reached more than that, so it will say that no, it will do that to pay. So here 20 plus a, right? Now onwards it will be, oh, days into 10 means, right? So if 13 days, 130, 12 days, okay, right? So now onwards the days which how many you entered, so into 20 it will be 20. So days into 20. Okay, so it will be happen like this. If you enter, if you run it, it will ask the input, enter number of days. If I enter 34, total amount you have to pay was 680 rupees and enter number of days. I taken another book and that book was I taken nearly 23 days. You have to give 460. Another book which was I taken 12 days, you have to give 140. See here, here I did not given any input like, yeah. So here you have to choose a random. There is no thing we are doing that random variable because just we are going with the number of days and have to pay 680 or what else. We can take up to maximum 3 books. So we did it, and after this cricket score, the score of like For 5 days, the score is for day 55, 89, 120, 40, 77. So here you have to check which in which day you score more. So from above list, 120 was highest. But here this loop we know that we done with it and in many times like largest 3, largest 2 like that. So there is no need of doing it. If we want, what we can do with this example indifferently other than this, no, we didn't done anything. Yeah, there is no nothing like in it here. We already done this example. And water consumption, see here, liters 120, 135, 140, 110. So total liters we consumed. So here when you compare it, it will add the integers. So instead of this, if we use every time they import random, then it will be more that like we are using every time constantly, right? So if you use another thing random, so now take a for loop for I in range, for I in range. How many? If you want to take, if take a 7, okay. For 7 iterations, it will add the you forgot to take the empty list. R equals to empty list. So here R dot append. Okay, come append random dot rand. Sorry, rand range, not rand int integer, right? So up to 120 to 150. So now it picks the random value. So first print it because we have to know which values it taken. So after we know the values, so we can use it here that other than letters print R. So now 120, 150, 136, 144, these are the consumptions of like water consumption in different areas. So weekly it was nearly 1000 liters of water was consuming. So like this is the format of doing this. And if we want, we can keeping the prices like if you reach above 130, sorry, above 140, then you have to pay extra 5 rupees or extra 10 rupees or 20 rupees for each liter like that. And we can add like that. So if you want, we can do it here. So how to do was first take a, yeah, there is 1 2 3 4 list, right? So we can proceed with it that if L will greater than or equals to 130, then print how we find that whether L, right? So yeah, print L minus, use another brackets, L which was the number and L minus 30, 130 into each letter k 30 rupees extra, okay. Remove this equal to and L is greater than 130. See here when the L becomes greater than 130, so per one later it will charge 30 rupees. So it will gives in a, I think it will gives in line. So yeah, yeah, you can change it like, for example, we the range of that, do like this, don't do like this. See here, we know that what is the range of this thing, which one, 7, right? So go with it and like same as before, that total, sorry, equal to, what is that, L. Okay, print the total. So here we get the total, but see here, if you want that how, who when like using more than 130, so what is the, we get 7, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So 7 into 130, so how much? So 7 into 130 is how much? Like we use calculator for that. I think 9 something, 130 into 7, 910. Okay, it is the value is 910. So see here, the value was 910, which was greater than like that. So if here print another thing, that if total will less than or equals to, sorry, not equal to, less than 910, print uh, total, sorry, total amount we have to pay, right? Total bill, comma. So take a variable that, let's take a variable c. So what is c was total, like before, how much the total was, total minus, what is this, here we got like 910, right? So total minus 910, we get the balance, like how much extra we get here, into 30 per liter we charge 30 rupees. So this is the value of the amount extra fees. So here you have to add to the total plus, what is that, c. When you run it, see here, why it did not print it, oh, you can run it. Okay, if less than, right? So else, give another thing, else print total, sorry, total bill was, comma, total. Because if there is no extra, then it will give the total. See, total bill 981. Remove this print weekly. So yeah, if you run it again, total bill 934. Again, total bill 9. Wait, we got 969, right? Total bill 996. So why we did not getting this less than, here 910, right? This is 910. So why did we did not get this less than 910? Okay, we done like, yeah, this is correct, right? So why we have, okay, I got that. See here, if you print here something different than this, then we can get the point where this is belongs to this print, right? No, no, run it again, because sometimes it will show 933. It belongs to here. Run it again. Yeah, see here, we done less than here, not less than, greater than. So when we run it, yeah, 2584. We this is the both extra amount plus current amount. Like see here the total bill, right? So 135, 131, 148, like that. So here print the total also, then we will get what is the value of C. So again run it. So the total value is 980. We get extra 3000 because of per letter 30 rupees, right? So if there is how many letters, nearly 70 letters are extra. So 70 into 30. So yeah, approximately 2100. Yeah, 2100 rupees were extra. So I think it's too heavy. So extra 10 rupees. Okay. Now we will run it. 910, which was less than 9. Yeah, 910 is not greater than 910. So condition fails. It choose the spot 98. No problem. Oh, 923. So here extra 13 was there. So 13 into 10, 130, like that. So this is how it works. And this is the last example here. So we completed this for loop. And next I will come with the while loop question and answers. Thank you. Thank you for watching.